Pox.
I'm Couchguy.
And you're watching the Too Smart Guy show from the middle of the Mojave Desert doing a Comutecast episode edition. Yeah.
So very, very far away.
Yeah, so we normally do mods, hacks, cracks, things of techno interest that we like. And what I used to do with Rackable was on our way to work, we'd do a show just talking about kind of random things in the tech news industry. And I thought this would be a good chance to do that because I'm driving, or well, actually, my wife is driving us between LA and Las Vegas. So I've got Couchguy on the speakerphone, and we're talking about the tech news. And what's new this week, Mr. Couchguy?
Oh, that would be the lovely Final Cut Pro X, or FCPX.
So,
or what used to be a professional program is now professional iMovie program, kind of, not really.
Yeah, that's my best description for it. Okay, so for people who aren't familiar, Final Cut is what we use for editing our videos, and a lot of professionals use for editing like higher-end videos and movies and things. And
some of us get paid some money to work on this program professionally.
Yeah, that's actual Couchguy's profession, possibly, if he wishes to disclose that.
That's all right.
Yeah, so the big news was that they chopped the price down from like $1,000 to $300 or $400, depending on how you look at it. And
yeah, well, we'll say Final Cut Pro X is what it is. It's $299 for one program.
Right. So they also shipped compressor and motion for $50 a pop. So you're looking at $400 for that. And you're still missing a couple programs that were part of the suite.
And I found out about a couple of them.
Oh, really? What'd you find out?
Color has been discontinued.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's a big problem for me. Like, that's a big enough problem right now for me to be shopping in like an Adobe's camp.
Really? What does Adobe have that's equivalent to color, though?
Yeah, well, because of the way they integrated their color scheme things, it's like I would rather move to a different editing system if they're going to start cutting pieces out and go to more an integrated system like what it used to be than to deal with it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I will give Final Cut Pro X a chance, but I may personally start shopping for other stuff because at my work, I may not have a choice, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of production houses. If it continues as what rumors have, because honestly, I haven't touched it yet because I'm not at work this month. But as soon as I go back and have to start playing with it and just exploring it, I've heard enough bad that makes me nervous.
So let's start off with the good. The good things about the new Final Cut is they rewrote it from the ground up, and apparently they were experimenting with it when they were making iMovie. So that, I mean, this really is the evolution of iMovie is what they did. They tried to make iMovie more like Final Cut. So it's not all the way there yet. There's a couple pieces that are missing. But the benefits are, it's insanely fast.
Well, it's extremely fast because, first and foremost, they've never had a true 64-bit version of Final Cut, so you've been limited in both your RAM and processor ability. So we're, for the last, 3 years, didn't even use the processors you already own.
Right, it wasn't fully utilizing all the multi-threaded capabilities of multiple processors and the GPU acceleration and all these wonderful technologies that have been out for the past couple of years. The old Final Cut just wasn't really making full use of them. So now that it is, it's awesome. Personally.
Yeah, thank you, Apple, for finally catching up.
And there's some tools that they put into there that are they're very simple, but they work really well. Like the chroma keyer. I just threw it on there on a scene that I was trying to key out from last week's episode, and I just could not get it to work for nothing. It just worked immediately without even touching it on the new Final Cut, and it just played back in real time. No full 1080p, no rendering, no nothing. It just worked. And this is on the native
good.
footage.
That's good that it's actually using the GPUs.
Yeah, so it's... I mean, there's some things... I think it's a great framework, and I think that eventually it'll get there if they keep working on it. And it sounds like they are, but it's getting some really bad reviews on the App Store. There's a lot of hate going on.
Well, I think part of it's because they took out a lot of professional features that everyone uses.
Right. No offline.
And they really did. They only, in my opinion, from what everyone has said, they made the format, like if you were an iMovie user, you could pop into this immediately and go, hey, I know where everything's at.
Well,
which means that if you're a professional user, you're looking at it and going, where'd everything go?
Yeah, so here's the biggest hint and problem. When you open it up, you cannot load Final Cut 7 projects. It is not backwards compatible with Final Cut.
Well, yeah, that's a major issue for a lot of us.
But it is backwards compatible with iMovie projects.
Which is ridiculous because no one should care about an iMovie project that much.
So, yeah, so that's the skinny on Final Cut X. It's really iMovie Pro is what it is. In all reality. It's cool, but it is not the old Final Cut by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, what bothers me the most is you hear all these people who I don't want to say they're paid advocates, but let's be honest, they're paid advocates for this program. They make money by being the first people to touch these programs and to make training resources that people buy, okay? So it's in their best interest to try and hype up the use of this product. Every single one I can find, their only excuse is this new class excuse, oh, this is only version 1. Wrong. This is version 11. What? Of a program that's been out there for close to 10 years.
Well, I thought this was...
It's not 10 years for sure.
I thought this was version 8.
This program is not allowed to go back to version 1.
I thought it was version 8. I thought the last one was 7.
Well, that's what they're saying because they're saying it's version 1 and as being it's Final Cut Pro X, Final Cut Pro 10. You know, I'm just inferring the 10 on the X on there, but, you know, we are well beyond calling this version 1, and to justify changing everything as calling yourselves composers, and that every new piece of new artwork or every new piece of tech is seen as new and obscure. I'm sorry, but you know what? If you're catering to a crowd that's making money off of this stuff, you know, I don't see, you know, them going in there and changing, you know, some other major pieces of software and just expecting everyone to deal with it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It sounds like they're going to be issuing some updates soon, hopefully.
I would hope so, because if they don't add multicam, it will never get installed in my shop.
Yeah, because that's what you do your show with, multicam, right? I mean...
Yeah, a lot of the shows that I work, you know, we're shooting 2 or 3 cameras, if not a 4-camera setup, that we've designed our entire shop basically on doing this post-production edit anymore these days, because Final Cut Pro's multicam has worked so nicely for us that we save so much money than doing it out in the field.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to see. All right, so enough of that topic, I suppose, for now.
Yeah, I think my vote so far is we'll see what happens in 6 months.
That's probably a good vote. I think it'll work for what I'm doing. For like 95% of it, it'll work just fine. I don't need those other features.
It really does sound fantastic, and I'm really excited to start playing with it. Of course I'll end up buying it. Of course I'll end up playing with it. I just don't know if it's actually ever going to be used extensively in my professional site. Because if it doesn't have these features, I have to go someplace else. I have to have certain features.
I think
iMovie didn't have it, otherwise we would have bought iMovie for $30 when it was $30.
Yeah, I think that, you know, hopefully either Apple will come out with them or there'll be third-party add-ons that'll do the things that people are requesting, like multicam.
this is something that we should actually talk about, because buying third party is probably a bad idea. Because as of right now, I don't know of any major third party apps or third party plugins that are 100% functional inside of the new Final Cut Pro X. I can only think of 2 plugins that even work, and I don't think they really work. I think they got patched right away.
Automatic Duck sent an email out saying that they have their conversion stuff going with...
Yeah, with a patch. You have to come with a new patch, and it doesn't work 100%. It just works, limitedly.
Right. It's not... Yeah, it's not native. I mean, it's not Final Cut. It's iMovie. The architecture...
So, that one, and one other company I think of has I can't remember if it's Red or another one that has some software that kind of works right now, but it doesn't work very well. And even your professional capture cards and things like that are completely blown out of the water because they're, not working. So
really,
looking for, Aja has put out all kinds of statements saying that they have to use the new beta firmware for their cards, and you have to do it on a fresh install of Snow Leopard, and it's a huge list of qualifications to get it in there.
Really?
So I would be really hesitant to go purchasing third-party plugin fixes right now, just because if they come out with version 2 and they strip out certain aspects of these plugins we're using, those plugins are dead, and you're back in square one.
Crazy.
So don't spend a lot if you're going to spend money.
Yeah. I think that's going to end it for today. I think we'll just leave it off on that. If anybody here has used Final Cut, the new Final Cut or the old Final Cut, give your opinions and thoughts down below in the comments. And as always, subscribe if you like the show, and we'll make more of them.
Well, I just was wondering whether or not we need to thank our sponsor for this evening.
Oh, the sponsor. Yes. Yeah, I gotta throw that in the top somewhere there. ADT. They're our sponsor for this week's show. They're the Tech Podcast Network that we're a part of. They help get us some sponsors, and check those guys out and all the different shows that are on there at techpodcast.com. And ADT is the way to go for security. Who's watching your home when you're not there? Protect your home with this home security monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Just call 1-866-778-3127. That's 1-866-778-3127. And I promised Hopegrrrl I'd try and sing it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Do it.
I can't do it.
Okay, meanwhile. 0118999
Yes.
97253.
Watch
I'm
that.
so confused now. How many numbers are there in that phone number?
That's from the IT crowd. That's their new 911 number.
That's right. That's what you call when you fall down the stairs 2 times.
Oh, anyways.
That's funny.
The real number is the one listed below for ADT.
So you went cruising through the countryside on the Great American Vacation, and you mentioned some Disney tech. So besides dancing princesses and 50s animatronics, what cool stuff did you guys see down there?
Crush, the turtle, the Pixar turtle from Finding Nemo. They had a session where you could go into a room and he'd ask the kids questions, and it was I'm not sure how they did the screen, but it was some kind of a glassless 3D type aquarium, and it was real-time CG puppet of some kind, where he was interacting and talking, and it looked really good. It looked like the same quality of the movie. It was pretty impressive.
It was
really
super cool because he was responding to the kids. He'd ask the kids, he'd be like, "Yeah, you little dude in the front, what's your name?" And the kid would be like, you know, or he'd say, you know, little dudette in the front with the pink shirt, and she'd go, Sarah, and he'd go, oh, okay, Surfing Sarah, you know. I mean, it was crazy. And then he'd say...
So I wonder if this is an extension of what we were seeing a few years ago with the live, not say puppeteering, but it's live motion capture puppeteering.
Yeah,
Right.
probably.
Where you've got a little bit of motion and a little bit of motion capture, but mostly facial capture. So they can get the lips and everything.
I think that's what they were doing.
Probably.
Well, either that or the puppet kind, because like over at NAB they were doing that for Sid the Science Kid. They had a motion capture for the body, and then they had a hand for the mouth,
Right.
and certain controls, and they had like, you know, presets that they do for certain predefined motions.
Right. Well, because he'd go, okay, I'm going to swim away as fast as I can. You know, you want to see me swim really, really fast? And so he'd swim away, and then he'd come swimming back, you know, and he like swam into the glass. I mean, it was pretty cool. The kids loved
Well, yeah.
it.
See, I think those kinds of things when you've got like your scripted move and then like your interaction time is A to B. Yeah, I think that would be those are kind of quick parlor tricks that are kind of cool to play with. I think those are impressive because you can do them live. They don't really hold up when you're doing cinema stuff work,
Right.
but they do really nice live work.
Oh, yeah, and the kids really loved it.
Yeah,
It was really fun.
it
Oh,
was,
sure.
it was pretty interesting. And they also had everything was 3D and California Adventure. You know, they're handing out glasses for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was a Toy Story ride, Toy Story Midway Mania, where you get in, you know, like these carts and they go through like this funhouse type area with these huge LCD screens that were just like, I don't know how big they were. They were the size of a room, and you had a gun and you'd shoot, and you were wearing 3D glasses, so you had the perspective of like, you know, the ball shooting out and knocking down ducks or whatever. And they must have had to do a lot of different types of motion tracking, and then the way the 3D was coordinated, it just looked like a lot of work.
Yeah, and you could tell which ones. I mean, did you already say this? You could tell which targets were closer and which ones were further away.
Right.
For like what points.
The
you would
3D
get.
had a purpose because you had the perspective.
Right.
Because you were wearing the 3D glasses.
And you wanted to aim for the ones that were further away because they were more points. So that was pretty cool. And then let's see, was the Roger Rabbit one 3D? I can't remember now. Did we get
Roger Rabbit was just all you know, like the old school Disney stuff where they just did like animatronics and things.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we saw the Aladdin show, but that was just people.
Yeah, it was a pretty elaborate production, but
It was elaborate, but it was
don't know
just
how-
people on strings and stuff.
yeah, how technologically advanced it was.
Tron.
Oh, Tron!
Yeah.
Tron was interesting. Apparently, at the California Adventure at like 8 o'clock, Tron takes over, and like
At
all the
8:30.
streets and like this whole big old area becomes like a big old rave, and they got people in Tron suits dancing.
What were they calling it? They were calling it
Electronica
oh yeah,
is what
there
they were
you
calling
go.
it.
So cheesy.
Yeah, that's clever.
And they had people throwing frisbees, you know, glow up frisbees to the kids and stuff.
Oh yeah, they were
that-
so nice to the kids.
That Flynn's Arcade that looked just like from the movie, and they had tokens with, apparently, they should have kept one, but I didn't see it in the dark. I read about it later.
We didn't know about it.
That
till
special
way later.
Flynn's Arcade tokens and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Huh.
And then,
That's cool.
and actually, at one point, while Pox and Kiddo were playing a game, the whole arcade started like doing this crazy electrical thing, and then the lights got dim, and then they were projecting part of the movie onto the mall. So I mean, it's very themed. It was, you know, very like, I don't know, very Tron.
But yeah, they had like 3 or 4
Well, it's not-
stages.
It's always good because Disney does try and keep up with a lot of the
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool stuff. So.
But yeah, it was like electricity shot through the whole entire wall. It was crazy. I don't know if Pox noticed it because he was playing a video game. But yeah, you could see the electricity shoot through the wall in the arcade, and it was pretty cool. I mean, they put a lot of work into it. And then they had these, like, apparently, I mean, I thought it was just that the cups were glowing, but apparently the drinks that everyone was getting at Electronica were, they had ice cubes.
Oh, yeah, ice cubes glow. They had LED ice cubes in the drinks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, they put a lot of effort into it for the electric part of, you know, having everything be really, I don't know, visually electric. It was cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. It was something to
That's
see.
something.
But it was so loud. I mean, we didn't stay more than, like, what, 20 minutes? 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, not very long at all.
It was like a huge downtown rave. I mean, the entire, like, that whole section.
A Disney
of the
rave,
park,
by the way.
yeah, a Disney rave, which is crazy. But the music, I mean, it was just like if you went into a club for adults. And I mean, there were people just dancing everywhere, like almost out of control. And the kids just, I mean, it was overwhelming. It was not for children, you know, even though it was
parental only.
right? But there were kids everywhere, and it's not that the kids weren't enjoying it, it was just that they could get crushed, you know? They had cage dancers and everything, I'm not kidding. It was pretty wild.
So how do you make an LED
That sounds
ice
pretty
cube?
cool.
Yeah.
I imagine you just don't drink those ones.
I would guess.
Or else your toilet would light up later on.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to read more about that because I really have to know, like, whether or not it was actually the cup, because I really, really suspect that if you have those yellow cups and then a soda in it, that they would just reflect the light anyway because of the kind of lights that they had going on in the area. But Pox swears that he read.
Okay, I was reading this off of the tips on Foursquare. They might have been wrong.
They might have been wrong.
It might have been the glass that was lighting up the ice cubes in the drink. I don't know. Maybe.
Did the glass have a thick bottom on it? 'Cause sometimes those glasses have an LED light that shoots straight up.
It wasn't a
That-
glass.
This
It was,
LED is directional.
That's probably what it was.
they were those yellow plastic cups that they put drinks in when you go to like a club, you know. I'm trying to think of how to describe them. They're just these light plastic yellow cups. But I mean, I really think that they would be like blacklight reflective, and that they would give that translucent, or you know, that really, what's the word? Not translucent, but that really.
The effervescent glow.
Yeah, from the inside of them. I mean, maybe we should try it
Makes
on the
sense.
show. Maybe we should get. I mean, I have black lights. You know, maybe we should try it.
That's what I was thinking. We need to do more Mythbusters. That's what we should do.
Oh, we should totally do that. Only we can't call it Mythbusters. As Alton Brown has pointed out, you know, lawyers do not like things like that. So we should call it, like, I don't know, Punk Your Myths or something.
Punk Your Myths. Alright, so here it goes. It's 1-866-783-127. Okay, never mind.
That's a lame number to try and sing.
Yeah, you can't really sing it.
Oh, 118-999. No.
Doo-dah.
Yeah, so Disney, the word magic is used more than like Steve Jobs giving a keynote. It's like everywhere, everything's magic, magical, magic.
Well, it is the Magic Kingdom.
So true.
They do own the word.
Oh, that reminds me though, the night show that they have, what is it called?
Did he crash out?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it called? McTastic or McTasia or Mc
No,
something?
it was called, hold on, it was called
Fantastic? Phantasmic. That was pretty cool because they had water jets spraying up in the sky and video projecting on them
oh yeah, that was really
of all the water scenes and like villains and things, where they'd actually incorporate real water splashes with them.
Yeah, the video projected either on the water spraying up or on like they'd have fog spraying, or not spraying, but they'd have fog across the whole area and they would just project onto the fog.
Yeah. So the mist was there and they were projecting onto the mist. But they'd also incorporate, like, when Mickey was commanding the waves from Fantasia, they'd have real water blasting up, and they'd have, like, real fire in there, too, when there'd be fire.
And at the end of it, they have, like, a dragon projected onto the mist, but you can see that there's, like, a real dragon, like, appearing behind the mist. Oh, man, it was so cool. And the real dragon was, like, gigantic.
And I think they've been doing that show for over a decade, so this isn't anything totally new, but
we just hadn't seen it before.
It's pretty cool.
It was really cool.
Did you guys see Tinkerbell fly into the castle?
Did we what?
Did they do the Tinkerbell flying to the castle at night kind of thing?
Yeah.
No, fireworks?
Little Man's asleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tinkerbell is like a really small Asian dude, right?
I would imagine because one of the cool things they do all throughout Disneyland and probably other theme parks is they do perspective tricks, right? So they try and make it look like it's a huge castle, but in all reality, they're just using smaller windows and doors and everything, so it just seems like it's bigger than it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that Tinkerbell would actually be a really smaller person.
Yeah.
Well, I have a friend I used to work in, and it's pretty consistent between both parks. But yeah, it was he was this really, really small Asian man.
Oh, that's adorable. I can totally picture it too in my head.
But like in the Aladdin production, they were obviously using a lot of doubles.
Oh,
because things would appear here than there, and I mean.
And at the same time,
so
did you notice with Aladdin, like they had Aladdin and Jasmine on the pillow?
Yeah, there were different people.
Well, I said pillow, but it was the magic carpet, and yeah, they had them like float up above our heads, and then they were on stage at the same time that they were getting off of that, like above our heads, and I was like. But they're right there. I can see them. And actually, I think I heard Colt say that too. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't see them. They're over there.
Do not look behind the curtain.
Right? It was a total Wizard of Oz moment.
Yeah. So that's Disneyland. It's like that was one of the things I think. Walt Disney, when he built it, he was always into the latest technology. They've always been early adopters.
Oh, and the Abe Lincoln.
Oh yeah, the stories with Abraham Lincoln or whatever. I mean, that's been around for forever, but I'm sure they've updated it since the original. But it's pretty slick.
Yeah, that moved pretty well, and
it wasn't all jerky and just kind of randomly like flailing around. He looked pretty good.
It was fairly impressive.
Yeah.
It was funny though. We asked the attendant. We were like, "So when does the Abe Lincoln or no? How'd you ask him?
What? Or when is the? I can't remember. When does the robot start?
When does the robot start or something like that? And he goes, "Oh, Mr. Lincoln is doing a presentation right now, but he'll be or there will be another one shortly." And we were like, "Oh." Oh yeah, you're not supposed to talk about it like he's a robot.
Yeah, they're not allowed to talk about the animatronic because they're animatronic.
So yeah, we got in there and we sat down and Colt's like, "When do we see the robot? When does the robot start?" And so, this whole time he's like, Where's the robot? So anyway, then at the end of it, Colt was like, "Oh, that was the robot." And he's like, he said something about how did they make him alive? And I said, "I don't know, he has batteries or something." And he goes, "Oh, And he says really loudly, when his batteries die, he won't talk anymore. I was like,
I have to tell you my robot story that I was telling my son.
Awesome.
So, in order to get my son to actually sound excited to stay up for the New Year's Eve celebration,
Okay.
I kept promising him, I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to bring the robot out again this year.
Oh no.
He goes, what, really? I said, yeah, I'm sure. Daddy, what's the robot? I said, his name is Dick Clark. They're going to bring the robot out this year.
Oh no.
And I swear unto everything, my son to this day thinks Dick Clark is a robot because this poor man's problem, I was not aware of how far his condition had went.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw this last year's Rockin' New Year's celebration.
We did.
But I'm sure I just paid my way 3 different layers of hell for telling my son that his poor man's condition was the fact that he's a robot.
Oh, God, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
Well, it's kind of
And
creepy.
he believes it to this day. He's like, the robot came. I'm like, yeah, he did. They sought him out.
It's kind of sad because, I mean, he had a stroke, but they obviously, sewed half of his face back into place again.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That's terrible and awesome at the same time.
Yeah, I really, really felt bad, kind of, for a second or two.
Oh.
Speaking of sewing smiles into place.
No kidding. Oh, man. That's sad, though. Oh, wow.
It was good. It was funny.
It is funny.
It's fun. It's sad, but it's funny.
Oh, my goodness. It's really sweet that your son really thinks he's a robot. I love that. Oh, wow. Does he get really excited, every time he sees him on TV?
Yeah, every time he ever sees Dick Clark is during the New Year's thing, which I didn't think they were going to bring him out, because I heard he had a stroke. I'm like, well, they're not going to bring him out. And he's like, why bring him out this year? Just being funny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got some jokes that night.
Oh, no. Oh, that's awful.
That's terrible.
Wow. Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
fantastic all at the same time.
So, the Tiki Room,
Oh, yeah, that wasn't as impressive in terms of the animatronics. You can hear them clicking.
yeah, it's old. It's old and...
Oh, the Tiki Room is not ready to fall apart.
Yeah, that's
It was still, I don't know, it's still pretty cool, but...
Yeah. You know, the most important part of the Tiki Room, the most impressive, I still wanted to say important. The most impressive part of the Tiki Room was the windows, where it got all dark and creepy, and it was boom, and it started fake raining. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it really does seem like a big old thunderstorm or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that separation thing going on there, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can definitely tell the newer animatronic stuff, the Buzz Lightyear ride. They have a big Buzz Lightyear, and
Oh yeah.
they had a Mr. Potato Head at the Midway Games.
Oh yeah.
And they're just so much more fluid and more joints and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hey, what was it where we walked past and it was on the way out of the Buzz Lightyear ride where it was young lady in the front row, and then young man in the second row, I'm available. Or no, it was the Monsters Incorporated ride.
Oh yeah.
Oz.
Oh yeah, I was wondering how they did that.
That was weird. Yeah.
Unless they just had somebody imitating her voice, maybe.
Probably. They probably had a voice alter thingy.
I think you think too deeply into this and don't realize that you've only got a 50-50 chance of one or the other, and you could pre-program all the options in and just have someone place them in there before you get in there.
That's true, but she was going into pretty
it's true,
pretty detailed information about the people sitting where they were sitting and what they were wearing and stuff.
True. Yeah. It was weird, I'm telling you. But yeah,
it's possible.
And as
I think we need to look into early 20th century parlor tricks and like sideshow tricks, because I know that a lot of them are used, since they're not as prevalent anymore, that we don't identify them so fast.
That's true.
It's got to be something simple.
That is true.
It can't be complicated being everything on Disney. It's got to be only a few things can be complicated.
Well, like the Haunted Mansion is a perfect example of like all these tricks that they're using that they seem really high tech, but really it's just literally smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely! It's a lot of mirrors. A whole lot of mirrors.
Yeah, it's a lot of big, expensive two-way mirrors.
Yeah.
And a lot of forced perspective.
Right. Like one of the first things you walk in and you see these statues that look like they're looking at you, but they're really just inverted. They're concave, but the lighting makes it look like they're always looking at you, no matter where you're at.
Right.
Or the classic, the ghost is in the car with you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's just basically projecting. He's just projecting against the glass that you're looking at.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Yep, and that's towards the end of it. Yep. Colt was really excited about that. He was like, whoa, it's in the car. He likes us.
But a lot of interesting technology stuff is like, now they have apps for your iPhone as mouse weight, so you can see what the wait times are at all the rides at any given time. Or you can update it to help people out. Using Foursquare, you get all the tips on all the rides and things to look for. Like they were saying on the Haunted Mansion that some kid shot one of the panes of glass with a BB gun or threw a flashlight at it or something. It was up for debate on what happened. But instead of fixing it, they just made it a spider web. Because it's expensive, the two-way glass. And just a lot of useful tips on where like the best place to sit is, whether or not you should go on the right or the left side of the line, if there's more than one line to go into.
Yeah.
Where the hidden Mickeys are, like all these little tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Photographers everywhere, they give you, what was it called, a photo pass?
Oh, yeah.
So they're wirelessly photographers out there that are taking pictures that automatically get uploaded, to the cloud. So you can buy your swag online of your Disney memories, or you can go to the old photo lab, which has now been converted into a place where you can order your digital prints on all kinds of paraphernalia like Zazzle.
Yeah, exactly.
You wait till they geotag your ticket stub, and then they can just take photos and have anything with a certain radius in that direction being geotagged, and you can just pop up all these candid photographs of you and your family that you have no idea about.
That's totally what I was saying.
That'd be kind of neat.
I was totally like, what they should do is they should do it with where it's on your pass, that you get into the park. Because when you go to a conference, when we've gone to these like high tech conferences like NAB or the Podcasters Expos, we've gotten these badges that we have to wear around, and we get scanned at like every booth that we visit. And so what they do is, they get like our email address from us. Every time they scan our badge, they get our email address, they get our home address, they get our phone numbers, and they can send stuff to us, or they can they can enter us in drawings. They can,
or they can just sell your information to the Indonesians.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that Disney could do the same thing. They could make you wear your whatchamacallit, your Disney pass for how you get into the park. They could have you wear it around your neck. You could have a lanyard when you come into the park. You could wear it around your neck. You could scan it everywhere you go. Your pictures could be uploaded right onto it. Like every time they take a picture of you meeting Mickey or Minnie or whatever, they could just put them right on there. I don't know. I mean, it just would make so much more sense. But, they haven't thought of it yet. So, whatever.
Anyway, Zazzle.
Oh, I think they thought about it. Just so there's a huge, lawsuit full of, privacy laws that they're breaking every time they do something like that.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
I don't think Zazzle sells your information to anybody, but if you use our code, you can save 10% on orders $50 or more.
And you know what? I love Zazzle. You know why? 'Cause my t-shirts are up there and no one's buying them.
I bought one. And I was wearing it Disneyland. I was wearing it at Disneyland, and I got lots of good comments. They're like,
that is so true.
Like, void warranties with style. What? Is that a good comment?
You're wearing a big heavy black sweatshirt in the middle of California. What are you, high?
It was kind of overcast. It was pretty cold in the evenings.
Were really cold. I mean, seriously.
Oh, see, testimonials that it's actually a good quality sweatshirt.
Yeah, it was. It is. It is a good quality sweatshirt. I like it.
See, here's the question. Did every time someone say something like that, did you say, here's where you can find one?
I should have. But I didn't.
You know what? For some reason, we were always in a huge hurry every time we were commenting on it. But they always said it with a big old smile on their faces. They were always like, sweatshirt, cool.
So Railman says he likes your idea.
What idea?
Your idea that you were giving out.
About the passes?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I seriously think, it makes sense.
Anyways,
absolutely makes sense.
And I think that they're wasting money with all the plastic cards that they're giving to people. I mean, we must have collected like 7 of those cards, They're wasting money and they're wasting plastic, which everyone's going to get all, crazy about because they're like, oh my God, Disney's not green,
Oh, Disney has never been green.
No, that's true.
All right, so we need to put an end to this marathon session. It's going over an hour right now.
That's because we're
dang it, I'll stop talking. Hey, at least we worked another 40% into this.
We're driving and we have nothing better to do.
Well, what was I going to add on to this marathon session? Oh, yeah. We should put something like secret at the end for like anybody who actually bothered to watch this all the way to the end.
Any booty.
Any booty.
Nice.
Like, you get points or something. I don't know.
You get points. You get 10 booty points.
If we actually had a method for giving away prizes, that might work. Maybe that's the new avenue we should take. We should actually give away stuff.
I know, stickers.
So you two, everybody get done hacking your Xbox. Easy enough. That you could, earn your own Xbox. That's a madness.
Okay, we'll start small. I'll give out a Zazzle sticker, a sticker that says 2 smart guys, one of the little round ones, to anybody who bothered to see this. Send me an email, Pox and 2 smart guys, saying I watched the Comutecast in its entirety, and
wait, we have to have a secret password. And the secret password is Disney Rules.
Disney Rules. And to make sure that they watch the whole thing, we have to ask them, they have to know something that was said in the middle.
And technically,
so they need to know about what was so fascinating about the Tron ice cubes.
Hey, there you go.
There we go. What was so fascinating about it?
And they have to know my opinion of the products.
There you go.
Your opinion of what?
That works. So, send me an email with...
Wait, Couch Guy's opinion of what?
Final Cut X. Final Cut Pro X.
Okay.
So that's it. Couch Guy's opinion and what was so fascinating about the ice cubes. Email me, Pox 2 smart guys. I'll send you some stickers.
Okay.
Thanks for viewing this marathon session. And we'll be back next week, hopefully in the studio, with a awesome presentation of some kind.
Stickers only good until the first week of July.
Yeah, after that they blow up.
Now we'll give them till the 4th. The 4th of July, then they blow up.
I said the first week to the first week of July. That gives them a couple, days.
Oh, okay. So you get till the end of the first week of July to send the answers, and I'll send you the stickers. Oh, and don't forget an address so I can send them somewhere. All right. See you guys next week. Every Monday, new shows. Live craziness every Wednesday night at 10:30 Mountain.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a 2 Smart Guys production. This is a 2 Guys production. Oh, that's not the right word. Subscribe to the freedom.